Today, we become legends.
8 more item god combos from Smite's history. Before we start, I'm in a bit of a creative rut right now with Season 8 on the horizon but not near enough to make videos about yet, but close enough that I've stopped making Season 7 guides. I have a lack of ideas for stuff to make for these next couple of months while we wait, so if you have anything you want to see from me, be that Smite or anything else really, then let me know down below. I'll be reading every comment. But without further ado, let's jump in. First up, the original Thebes with Ymir and Geb was just the nuts. The item back then was health focused and nothing more than 600 base health on the item with a passive that increased health from all sources by 15%. So that includes base health of the god plus health from items as well. The Ymir case was the only time in Smite history that you could hit the max HP hard cap of 5500 by building all HP items with Thebes, since Ymir has the highest base HP of any god in the game, so that alone is a record held by this item. But Release Geb Shield was also a monster with this item. You see, Release Stone Shield scaled with 20% of Geb's max health in addition to its 400 base HP. It also lasted longer and gave full knockup immunity while active, but that's besides the point. Basically, Release Geb Shield was one of the most broken abilities of all time, but to get to the root of this placement, Thebes with a health build could easily get Geb up to 4k HP, which means the shield was 400 plus 20% of 4000, which is 800, so a 1200 HP shield in total. That's more than half a health bar when placed on a squishy backliner and basically worked as a 6-second long Aegis, because who really wants to invest 1200 damage into an enemy and still have them be at full HP afterwards? Next is one that you probably all have come to know and love over the years, that being KUKULKAN and Book of Thoth. Kuku's passive is of course just a mini Book of Thoth, meaning that he is already incentivized to build mana and the book is just perfect for him. Not only does it convert 9% of your item mana to power, it also stacks with the 4% conversion from his passive, meaning a total of 13% of your mana is converted to power. Of course, Book of Thoth is specifically item mana, where Kuku's passive includes base mana as well, but that extra 4% conversion from his passive is 40 power just from Book of Thoth alone. Meaning the item, when fully stacked, provides 210 power, 1000 mana, and 15 MP5. That might be the single highest power item in the game, which is more than worth a mention here. The next one is sadly a combo that you can no longer meme on people with, though I guess we still have thorns. That is of course Kuzumbo and the old hide of the Nemean Lion. With that extra 25% reflect on top of Kuzumbo's existing self buff that reflects up to 30% of the damage back at the attacker, any AA based character was terrified of Kuzum running at them with this combo. And while it's not an item, I feel like Thorns has to be worth a mention here too, as it could reflect damage as high as 95% when stacked with the previous two effects. I'm not actually sure if that's how it works. There's probably some kind of hard cap on reflected damage to prevent hunters getting hit for 700 by a tank with thorns, but either way, this item god combo is super fun and a great way to troll those pesky backliners. Stand strong, my Kappa friends. Stand strong. Combo number 4 is something you should try when ERLANG SHEN opens up his third eye. Soul Eater is the item you must buy to make your enemies quiver and cry. Not current Soul Eater though. I won't be held responsible for any ranked games you lose by building Soul Eater on ERLANG right now. Soul Eater has had a tumultuous past however, and in a past life it was insanely broken on ERLANG SHEN. The item had some stats, not really relevant though, the passive is what we're after. 3% max health heal on every basic attack. Combine this with ERLANG SHEN's old passive that would proc item effects and additional time on your basic attacks, and you were healing 6% max HP per attack. ERLANG also has an AoE hit chain, meaning you could hit multiple enemies with one swing, meaning you could heal 6% multiple times with one basic. Needless to say, healing potentially 18% or more of your max HP per basic attack was pretty busted. This was only on god hits at least, so you couldn't heal from minions like this, but even with the god's restriction, this combo still made ERLANG truly immortal in teamfights. Another item that has had many iterations is Gauntlet of Thebes, hence why it's making 2 appearances on this list. This one is still usable in the present day however, that being Baba Yaga with Gauntlet of Thebes. Thebes is an item that is of course not specific to Baba herself and is built on many supports, but Baba has such great synergy with it that I felt it deserved a spot on this list. Not only can Baba stack it faster than any other god, she is the only god in the game that can stack Thebes without avoiding last hits on the wave, making her basically the only damage dealer / mid laner that can use this item effectively, and given the insane raw stats this item gives, it can make her very tanky with just one defense item in her build. 60 of each procs and 250 health is nothing to laugh at, so Baba and Thebes definitely deserve this spot. This next one goes out to all the Loki mains out there. HYDRA'S Lament with Loki's old kit was just perfect. He was sort of the king of using AA cancels for big burst damage, with an auto coming from stealth or the ult into aim strike, another auto, and even into decoy into another auto, just for that juicy extra HYDRA'S proc. This does sort of work on new Loki too, but since a lot of his burst is gone, he's a little bit less reliant on his autos for that huge burst damage, so it is less good now, but boy was it a force to be reckoned with on old Loki. Another item making a second appearance on this list, Pele with Soul Eater is next up, which is just another juicy one that you can go and use right now. This was stronger in the past when Pele's passive was utterly broken, but it's still a really sick combo since her passive gives 15% ability lifesteal, which stacks with the Soul Eater's passive for 20%, giving a total of 35% of your damage back as healing. Of course, you also get standard basic attack lifesteal, but no other physical in the game can heal so much from abilities as Soul Eater Pele with Everlasting Flame active.
Except for King Arthur.
I'm gonna book these two delinquents.
I don't understand why I'm still getting hate.
And finally, we have RAIJIN Soul Reaver. This is the first entry on the list across both videos so far that was actually a bug, but we don't discriminate here. Bugs can make for sick item god combos too, and in this case, is worth talking about for sure. It's simple but effective. RAIJIN's 3 hits in 2 ticks of damage, an initial one on startup and a second one when he lands at the location. Well, old Soul Reaver that did 15% max health true damage on ability hits would proc on both hits of this ability for a total of 30% max health damage in burst. Needless to say, this was fixed pretty swiftly, but not fast enough for it not to be abused to high hell by those filthy mid mains, and thus it deserves a spot on this list. But that's it for this entry. If you have any other combos I haven't mentioned here or in the first video, then leave them down below. I took a couple of these ones from the comment section of my first entry, so if there's enough good ones, there will definitely be a part 3 coming, because this series is really something I enjoy doing, and you guys seem to like it too. So subscribe for that one and all my other videos 3 times a week, and I'll catch you guys later. Have a great day, and peace out you nerds.